Alright everybody, today we're just going to do a back roads and Interlaken drive, old country roads. And we're at the Valero station and we're about to go to the what little bit remains of the old Gainesville Highway in Interlaken, which isn't much. Now the old Gainesville Highway is called the old Gainesville Highway because it used to go to Gainesville. And it was just one long dirt road. And it used to go all the way, at least in my lifetime, it went all the way into Interlaken down to where the Circle K is. But now this is all that remains of it here in Interlaken. Now if we were to turn left at this stop sign, get that sign there, because who knows when they'll change the name of that. Old Gainesville Highway. If you turn left at this stop sign instead of right like we're gonna go, that would go to Palatka. And a lot of the original old Gainesville Highway dirt road is still there, although a lot of it's been paved. Yep, this is what horse and buggies used to travel, you know, from Palatka to Gainesville, right on this road. And this is maybe a mile or two of this dirt road still remains. It's an old tree right there. And I like this tree cover over the roads. That's very cinematic looking, especially if you're watching it on Roku. You got a lot of these trees that hang over roads in Interlaken. The road that we're going to go to is Fillmore Avenue, which also used to be a dirt road, but it's paved now. And I'll talk about that road a little as we get on it, because I have roots on that road. It's where my grandparents used to live at when they first moved up here from Miami in the 60s. And of course I wasn't even born until the 70s, so, but we did come up here, you know, I'd stay with my grandparents for summers, and so I remember a lot of Interlaken, what it was like in the 70s, even though I didn't live here then. So we're about to catch up to Highway 20 up here, and this is the end of what remains of the old Gainesville Highway in Interlaken. And of course this is the worst part of the road here. It's like a washboard. See, there's the 4-lane highway. Now of course back in the 70s, 80s, even the 90s, this was not 4-lane. It was all just a 2-lane road. You know, the main highway out here was just a two-lane road, and they've widened it to 4 lanes. And there's Lake Ida. That's a pretty good shot of Lake Ida right there. Let me try to zoom in on that. Pretty nice. That's about the best shot you get of Lake Ida from Highway 20. And there's that A-frame house, the front of it. I showed the back of it before on that sheds video I made at Ace Hardware. And this is, without a doubt, our traffic jam for today. And now we're going to Fillmore Avenue. Now, to me, this would be like a good video to put on and go to sleep. What you do with my videos is not my business or concern. If you want to go to sleep to them, that's fine. I wouldn't blame you. But a lot of times I just like to make videos really kind of for myself, and if anyone else likes it, that's cool. So this is Fillmore Avenue we're about to turn on. This is the street that my grandparents lived on. And of course back then it was all paved. And there was no Hitchcock's Market back then either. If they needed to go to the grocery store, they had to go to either Nick's Market down here in Interlaken, which is now gone, which was like a tiny little, basically a convenience store market, or they went into Palaka. So this has, you know, it looks drastically different because the road is paved, but not much has changed out here over the years. This used to be an all dirt too, and they finally got it paved. Just a little lake over there. Now coming up here, I'm going to ask the driver formerly known as James to slow down a bit. Not yet, but it's 25 miles an hour anyway in here, so. Alright, this street's not, we're gonna circle back and get that. Hang on a sec. Okay, and that's Compton Street. Back in the late 80s and early 90s, everybody wanted that sign hanging in their room. Alright, so I had to edit some of that out because this would just be way too long otherwise. Here's another lake. Maybe nobody's behind us. Maybe the driver formerly known as James. We'll stop right here so I can zoom in on this lake. It's a nice shot of that lake. But that's why it's called Interlaken, so lots of lakes. But this is about as backwoods as you can get right here. Now they closed that off with that fence right there in front of us. That used to go straight through down there. And that's where my grandparents lived at down there. Kelvin Street. And coming up here is what we used to call Donut Lake. I think it's all dried up now, but we'll see. Alright, I'm going to shift us over here for Donut Lake, or what remains of it. Going to do a little zoom in here. Yeah, it's like a little mud bog in there now. You can't really see it because of the trees, but it used to be a lake that had like a little island in the middle, and it looked like a donut, which you can't really see now. We are in the forest right here for sure. Now if we're gonna see a bear or a bobcat or a deer or something, this would be where you'd see it in Interlaken. Trees. Hopefully you find this to be a pretty drive anyway. I know it's not that thrilling, but you know, there's a lot of people who live in the big cities, or you know, even people who live out west in the desert, they don't get to see forest. Not old piney woods anyway. So it might be something neat to them. That's the one thing about YouTube and driving videos, is you get to see things, places that you wouldn't normally see. So and I'm sure most people wouldn't normally see this. Of course, unless you live in this area, then you probably see it, and this is nothing thrilling to you. There's one of our golf carters right there. I do like the golf cart life. I would love to drive around on a golf cart. Oh, look at this. Slow down. I think that's somebody's pig. I don't think that's a wild boar. That's just somebody's pig got loose. That happens out in the country. Somebody's old pig will get loose and run around. And now we're going down to Sleepy Hollow Road. And this will take us out to Highway 315. Now, I talked about in other videos the winery they used to have out here, and it was real confusing because they had a winery sign. They had a winery sign out on 315, and they pointed down this way, and there was no other real direction. So, and I mean, the winery was miles and miles back in the woods, so that's probably why they didn't stay open. It was really hard to find. Although I guess nowadays everybody has GPS. So I guess that's not really an issue, but we don't use GPS because we old school, so. Alright, this is Sleepy Hollow Road. We're coming up on Highway 315. And as you've seen maybe in my other videos, this runs right into Interlaken. We'll keep this running the whole way into town, just to give you a shot of what it looks like coming into town. There went Herbie the love bug right there. And we have a nice blue sky today. Very pretty. Alright, so I know this was probably the most boring video on YouTube, but some people like boring, so if you're trying to, you know, if you're having a hard night getting to sleep, put this video on and that might work. And I ain't gonna lie, I can fall asleep to YouTube videos all the time, especially driving videos, so I put them on and I conk out. So maybe someone can use my video for that. But we will eventually get to something a little bit more interesting. I know I keep saying that, but just got to find the time and the money to go and travel, which it's expensive to do that anymore for some reason. All right, there's the veterinary clinic I've shown before from different ways. And the American Legion. And any of these roads here to the left will take you down to Lake Lagonda. We're coming up on Interlaken town. There is the Family Dollar, Dollar Tree, and the CVS over here. And I guess that's going to do it for my video. I guess we'll ride through up to the Dollar General here and show you that. Is the Circle K, where strange things are not afoot. How exciting is that? And there's the Hitchcock's Plaza and Dollar General. Alright everybody, I know that wasn't thrilling, but like I said, some people like to see that kind of stuff, so I would imagine, you know, the further away you are from Florida, the more interesting you might find it. But alright everybody, thanks for watching my video. Peace out. Allie, you want to say something, Allie?